Ladies and gentlemen, this is episode number 2 for the Rilifit podcast, and the show is called Movement Know Some More. So we have another distinguished guest coming up onto our show today. Now, he is actually from Korea, but now living in Canada. And the crew that he's from is actually called Last for One. And they were actually the representative, or they've actually represented Korea to the Global Battle of the Year. And they're actually the winner for the Battle of the Year. And what is special about our upcoming guest is that he actually used to be a bodybuilder. He's actually a dancer that actually does locking as well, which is a different type of dance. And so for movement-wise, it's interesting to see how people can, do different types of dances using different types of movement as a form of expression. And he's also, of course, most importantly, a break dancer as well. So from an intricate technicality perspective to creation in terms of the dance moves overall, it'll be very, very good for us to get some understanding of how he does all that today. So ladies and gentlemen, without more further delay, I would like to invite you all here and welcome our guest. Hello, Bboy Thaiyo.
Hey, how's it going? Great to see you, Rich.
Hey, thank you so much, Thaiyo, for coming up to the show.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you for having me.
It's a lovely, great pleasure to have somebody at your caliber to come up and share your experiences with us.
All right.
So what would be good for us is to understand more about your history, how you got started originally. So I think the first question I would like to ask you is, how did you get started with dancing overall, and what type of dance did you start with first?
All right. So it's back in 1997, 98, around that time. I was middle school, like grade 9. But before that, already I was always kind of I like to dance, I like to move around, but 97, 98 is starting to the Korea the K-pop culture, the Korea pop culture kind of getting bigger and bigger, and then there is lots of K-pop stars, they do dancing, especially break dancing between their showcase. So it's those content kind of catch my eyes, and then I started it with my 4 other friends. So we are 5. It's kind of like HOT. That is one of the huge K-pop group, and then I imitate them, just do exactly what they do, and then just for fun. And also I at that time was if you dance whatever, and you get more attention from the girls or friend, I kind of wanted to be a little bit get attention from the people, and then also I love the dance too. I think that's the main reason I started dance. And then so the friend who I start dance with, they after that dance, and then the first dance we did together, and then everyone kind of doing something other than dance, right? But I still love the dance at the time, so I wanted to keep going. So I think 97, winter time, that's how I started the dance, and I'm still doing it after after 23-4 years. I'm still doing it, so this is a blessed. I'm just I'm a lucky guy for sure to meet dance, and then I still live with that as a for a living, right? So yeah.
Yeah, it's fantastic to see, you're still flying around with your power moves. In addition, you're taking your locking to the next level as well. And I think it's really great to see how you can utilize your body and utilize movement in, as a different way of expressing yourself towards the music, and how you want to represent yourself when you're using the music as well. And I think it's from an expression sense, using your body, to show what you want to show in the music is just something I think very unique. And so I wanted to ask you is, so you started with breakdancing first, is it correct, or did you start with locking, for example?
Sorry, say again.
So did you start with breakdance in the beginning, or did you start with locking first?
All right, so definitely between breakdance and locking, I started with breakdance first. But so 97, 98 at the time, I didn't even know what is a b-boy. I didn't know about the terms of b-boy. I just dance. The time I did a break dance, kind of break dance and kind of popping, just wave. I just mix it up, any kind of dance style, something cool. I think that was the kind of start at the time. And then later on, I kind of studied about the culture about breaking, and then so I kind of specializedly I love the breaking, so I just kept going with the breaking. And later on, the locking is very fun, like looking very fun. And then like locking, the most important is you gotta be funky, and that's kind of like your natural personality helps it for sure. So I have a little bit like kind of funky, making funky face, and like kind of I love to give the joy to the people. So it's like locking was very natural, just came to me. And yeah, I love it, and I still teach the kid for locking, breaking, both. It's two different dance. I love both. Yeah.
In terms of locking, you mentioned about like being funky, right? Is there a way to describe that, like the funkiness or the flow of funkiness?
Okay, so it's very hard to explain the funky. Funky is like very, like for example, like make a fun face, like you know.
That looks very positively happy. Yeah.
Yeah, very basically like kind of close to happiness for sure. And then, but not just for the, but also go with the music, like kind of storytellings. So people who watching also enjoy it. That's the big part of locking, funky. Yeah.
I like the part where you shared with us about the importance of storytelling, because I think as a form of dance, or if people actually does movement from a very artistic perspective, I think it really it helps to create feeling overall, right? I think it's very unique in that sense as well. So what I wanted to ask you next here is that, okay, so we know that you've been a bodybuilder before, and when did you do that? And did you do that before the breaking or after? Because you seem to be able to do everything, so tell us a little.
So basically, I went to the physical education. So my major in my university, physical education. So I was already in the environment. So it's like kind of people around me, some people doing a bodybuilding, study about the body, lots of things around. I was already in that moment, in that environment. And that was like around the 2004, 2005, I started to interested about the bodybuilding. Just very, before that, obviously I'm a B-boy, and then my B-boy style is lots of dynamics, lots of handstand, like using a lot of strength. So I was already, my body was already looks pretty good because of my B-boy styles. All right, so it's like I was in the school around, and then like people, the friend who's doing a bodybuilding, like, hey Thaiyo, you look really great. I think you it'll be great if you try the bodybuilding if you are interested. And then I was I'm a type of the person try something new. I love to do it, always challenge it. So bodybuilding, okay, so like help me, teach me, I will do whatever you say. And then the friend helped me for a few months, and then I did my first competition in my my hometown, and then I got third place out of like 14, 15 competitors, and that was my
first time you competed. You got third place already. That is really good.
Actually, that was amazing. That was amazing experience. I still remember the feeling, like because before that I was a lot of times on the stage with the dancing, but the bodybuilding, so you wearing small, was that the speedo, and then you just make pose, and then definitely like I enjoyed it a lot actually. Of course, there was a lot of like nervousness there too, but definitely it helped me. All my dancing experience helped me to be on the stage as a show, as a bodybuilder for the show. Yeah.
So I think, because I think there's a section in your bodybuilding where you do a lot of poses and learning how to contract your muscles to be able to see the maximized definition that you have. Do you think that your b-boying in terms of your your understanding of stage presence, angles, and other things actually help with your choreography portion of your posing section?
Definitely, exactly. So like front of locking, being funkiness, you smile on the stage. That's very, very important. You doing a lot of poses, and then make sure you gotta be like smile. And then, so basically, just hold on one sec. I'm gonna show you something.
Look at all those trophies, mate. Oh, wow.
Yeah. So basically, this is all the Canadian competition. I did that. So basically, this one is you can see. This is the best pose prize, best poser. This is a 2016 BC Cup, so basically prevention competition. Yeah, so yes, I got it. I got the best poser. It means I'm a good stage. I guess people enjoyed my show for sure. Yeah.
There's a question I wanted to ask you as well. When they're actually doing the bodybuilding poses, right? How do they maximize the contraction of that specific muscle? Like, how do you guys train to contract in such a way so that they can actually see, the muscles to that degree? Is there specific techniques that you guys use at the time?
Exactly. There's a technique how to contract more your muscles. So there is the bodybuilding, there is a number 1 to number 7 pose, and each pose is kind of you wanna emphasize that part, especially that part of the muscle you wanna show. So definitely lots of practice needed, required for that, and also kind of you gotta know your body. You gotta because there is no mirror obviously on the stage, right? So you should watch the mirror and then you practice with the muscle you want to focus on, Yeah.
It's extremely interesting.
More deeper than this, yeah.
Let's say, for example, if you want to you want them to see your biceps more, how do you what kind of position do you get into to really showcase or contract your bicep, for example?
For bicep, it matters your hand. And some people doing put your finger and then going this, or just finger out, just small different thing. Depends on how your body, how your muscles is it's small difference may make, but it matters, right? In the small difference for sure. And then yeah, lots of squeeze, lots of squeeze. So next day after the bodybuilding competition, next day whole body is sore because of the whole squeezing. Yeah.
I like the way how earlier you actually when you're talking about the different alterations when it comes to the movement overall, in order for you to get more biceps. I don't have any biceps, right? But how you curl your wrist in a little more just to help you increase the angle a little bit. Maybe this helps to increase some of the wrist flexors around that section, therefore allows tension to build up a little bit more around your biceps. But I think overall that is extremely interesting. So overall, so we talked about a little bit more about you and how you started dancing before because of K-pop. And we talked about you doing different style of dances, talked about bodybuilding. Now, can you tell us a little bit more about story, how you came to meet your crew? In this case, I'm talking about Last for One, afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
Tell us a story about that.
Yeah, so basically I started dancing 97, 98, and I went to the high school. And then there was a kind of dance group already in the high school. As I say that I wanted to keep going. The old friends start with me. They wanted to do something other than dance, but I wanted to just keep going. So it's I was looking for something like that, dance circles, in the school there is dance groups, right, at each schools. So I got in there and then I met my other friend. His name is Joe. He still represent Last for One in Korea. He's my old dance friend. We still connect each other. So at the time, he was already a little bit high level. He was already a well-known dancer in my area. and then he has his group, like kind of semi-professionally. They dance like almost every day, you know. So I met him, and then yeah, he just like I just danced with him. I got into his dance group, and then that time there was like seven kids with me, and then you know always kind of like that. I started with like 7 groups, kind of like, and then maybe 3 people stop, and then meet another people, kind of like keeps going like that. Kind of some people stop, so whoever keeps going, they're gonna get together. Because my hometown was very small, so it's like there was like a bunch of groups there in the beginning, and then some people kind of stopped dancing, so some people left, and they wanted to keep going, and then they go with the other group who wanted to keep going. So it's like kind of like that. And then 2002, my crew last one started. Yeah.
In terms of like the entry to the group, so it sounds like it started with just overall, you know, friends dancing together. So as it progressed down the line, like and there's some members you mentioned that, you know, like they don't dance anymore, or they decided to hang around with other friends and do different things maybe. But I wanted to ask basically at this point in time, like in terms of the crews overall, are there specific type of people that you look for in a crew, characteristics, or the way they dance, so then it makes your crew overall more cohesively like look more impactful when it comes to a dance showcase overall? Or
Yeah, so basically if you want to be in that crew, basically that crew, what kind of personality for that crew? I mean, like what crew's goal, you know? So basically my crew always wanted to be a professional dancer, so we require the practice every day. So depends on the passion, right? If your passion is very high like us, and everything, like we have a good chemistry each other for the practice training, then you know we can get down together as the same crew, right?
absolutely, you're right. Is it very important? Now that you mentioned the word about chemistry, team chemistry, so it's all about the teamwork, right? So in this case, when we're talking about the teamwork, it is very important as it extends to your competition, you know, in the bigger types of competitions overall. So in terms of the choreography wise, how do you guys, you know, coordinate the whole team together in terms of your movements to do big showcase choreography? How do you practice for that? Some of the techniques that you, yeah.
That's a very good question. Just I experienced it's like two different team with a different culture. There's one team in Korea, and then my current team in Canada, right? Because the culture is different, how crew is going is different, how crew practice is different. So for example, for my Korea crew is basically whoever like oldest is the captain, you know. So my friend, I mentioned before, my friend Joe, he's the captain and I was co-captain. So basically, once the captain, kind of like, most of the time, captain makes the choreo, and then members make some part, and then kind of captain, co-captain kind of bring it together, everything. And then mostly in Korea, obviously, we have the kind of like, you know, by age, we have a like, kind of like a little bit of respect thing. So
Are you referring to like a seniority kind of thing, like a senior member?
Exactly.
They make the choreography pretty much, right?
Exactly. So it's a very there is a good thing and bad thing. Like, so normally listen the elders, right? The younger generation, they listen to the elders. So
Absolutely,
it's like, yeah, when we make the choreo, it's a kind of like, it's very simple. Like, okay, the captain said that, okay, let's do this, let's do this. Then everyone, mostly people agree with it. that was a big difference when then I moved to the Canada 2010, and then I joined the crew Now or Never in Vancouver. Of course, everyone's age is different, but it's Canada. Its culture is different. We are all friends, and there is no leader, no captain. So it take a long time. If we practice for the show, okay, we have a show this Saturday, and everyone has the opinion, right? And then we wanna everyone's opinions involved for the show, so it's like it takes longer. But everyone's opinion is in the show, so it's like a little bit more for the like crewmate, So I think that's a big difference between Korea and Canada as a B-boy team. Yeah, that's what I experienced.
In terms of the technical aspect of how you guys make the move look a bit like similar. Let's say, for example, like in front of a mirror, you want the whole team to look like symmetrical in a sense, right? Like for example, because the overall picture has to make sense. So how do you guys go about doing that? Do you use the mirror a lot to synchronize the movements first? And how do you go about if people are, because different people have different skill sets, and they some of them are taller, some of them are maybe a little bit shorter. But how do you coordinate this together?
In that case too, in Korea we have a captain, co-captain, so we they kind of lead all the practice, lead the training. Okay, so you move here, you do this one. When you do this move, like raise your hand a little bit more, and then everyone listens, right? So it's a kind of a little bit more simple. But in Canada, in case of like Now or Never, we are all friends, so it's like hard to say something. Hey man, you gotta do this, but you do this, But it's a more chill, like more friend, like it's a little bit different. But it's like definitely more enjoyable, I believe, in Canada way. But if you wanna be a little bit more like strict, like you want everyone like look like same, those kind of things, maybe Korea side a little bit more easier. If there is good captain, say it, and everyone gonna listen, everyone gonna follow it, no question.
So in that case, I would assume, in that case, I would assume what you're saying is basically in in the Korean one, there's like a captain, like teaching the team overall. The choreography has to be done in a certain way, kind of thing, right?
Exactly.
So you